this video, let us learn about Java-based configuration. These are the topics that we will be discussing now. What is Java-based configuration? What happens if you use both annotation and Java-based configuration together? How auto-wiring is done in case of Java-based configuration? What is the use of @primary and when to use Java-based configuration? Let us start now. What is Java-based configuration? In case of this configuration, the bean definitions are given in a Java class. This class should be annotated with @configuration. The bean definitions are given in the form of methods. Each method is annotated with @bean and each method will return Java objects. The IOC container will first identify the class that is annotated with @configuration. It will create an instance or an object for that particular class. In our case, it will create an object of appconfig. Then it will start reading the bean definitions one by one. In our case, we are trying to return an employee object. So the IOC container is responsible for creating an employee object as a singleton bean. The name of the Spring Bean is getEmp. You can use both type of dependency injection here, either setter-based dependency injection or constructor-based dependency injection. Now let us see the example. While seeing the example, we will also discuss about the rest of the topics. Here I have created a Spring standalone application using Spring Starter project. A standalone application is a console-based application. If you want to know how to create it, you can see my previous video on how to create a standalone application using Spring Boot. Because this is a console-based application, my main class implements command line runner and I have overridden the run method. From within the run method, we will call the methods of service classes. I also have one other class employee. In employee, let me add only one instance variable name. I will create getter and setter methods and toString. Here we are using Java-based configuration, so no need to annotate the class with @component. Now let us create one more class, which will be my configuration file. Let me give the class name as appconfig. This class should be annotated with @configuration. Let me import it. For importing, we can use Shift Ctrl O. Within this, I need to create a method that returns an employee object. And this method should be annotated with @bean, so that the IOC container can understand that it is a bean definition. The method name can be anything. The return type is employee. The method should be public. Now within this, I need to create an employee object. I have to set value for name. So either I can use setter-based dependency injection or constructor-based dependency injection. To start with, let me use setter-based dependency injection. So I am creating an employee object, emp.setName, Raju, return emp. You need to understand one thing. We are trying to set value for a primitive type. Spring Framework is not for this. It is used when one class depends on another class. We will see that example. Before that, we need to understand how Java-based configuration works. So I am going in for the simple example. Now let me annotate it with @bean. Import this also. Let us go to the main class. In the main class, from within the run method, I want to print the employee object. So already employee object is created by the IOC container. I can directly auto-wire employee object. That is @autowired, and I can just give employee emp. I don't want to do this. I want to get an instance of application context, or I want to auto-wire application context. This class Spring application is responsible for creating and instantiating the IOC container, that is the application context. Once the context is ready, it helps to load the singleton beans. So here I will auto-wire application context. I will import them, use Shift Ctrl O. Now from within run, I will call context.getBean method. Within this, I will just pass employee.class. The return type is an employee object. Now I can also print the employee object. Let us run this. I can run this as a Java application or as a Spring Boot application. So select your main class, right click, run as Java application. So here is my console. You can see the output. I am getting the output name equal to Raju. Now I will go to this app config. What if I want to use constructor based dependency injection? In that scenario, we will not use this. Here directly I need to pass Raju. I don't have a parameterized constructor, so I need to create it there. So that is why it is giving me an error. I'll go here, go to source, generate constructor using fields, select it, done. Now come to the app config. Here now the error is gone. I will save it. No change in the main class. Let us run it. So here we have used constructor based dependency injection. This is fine. But what if my employee class has another class's instance variable? That is, let me just take address as instance variable, wherein address is a separate class. So I need to create the class. Let this class have string city as instance variable. Here also I will create getter and setter methods and generate toString. Now we need to add the bean definition for address in app config class. So here we will add one more method, public. The return type is address, get address. The method name can be anything. And within this, let us create an address object. Address is equal to new address. I am not going in for constructor based dependency injection. So I will directly use setter base address dot set city Bangalore and return the address object. And this method should be annotated with @bean. Few more things we need to modify. Let us go to the employee class. We need to add getter and setter methods for address and then modify the toString method. So I will remove this, add the constructor on the top. Generate toString with name and address. Okay, I will save all. So in the app config class, that is the configuration file, we have given two bean definitions. The IOC container will create one instance of employee with the name getEmployee and one instance of address with the name getAddress. But we are not injecting address into employee. What will happen if we don't inject? Let us see that. So here in this case I am trying to print the employee object. When you are trying to print the employee object, you are already overriding toString in employee. So it will print address also. So what will be the value of address? Let us see it now. I will run the application. You can see the output. Name is injected to employee. So it is printing Raju. Address is not injected into employee. So it is printing null. So what we need to do? We have to add @autovoid annotation above the address instance. That is what we have learned in case of annotation based configuration metadata. But now we are using Java based configuration. We don't have to do that. Let me come to this configuration class. Here I have to call setter method. Let me not use constructor based dependency injection. I will go in for setter based dependency injection. So let me remove this line. Remove the comment emp.setAddress. I need to pass an address object. So it should be something like new address. Correct. But if you really see, there is a method which returns an address object. So what I can do, I can just pass the method itself directly. So I will just take this new address and I will call the method. Okay. This employee first line is giving me an error because we don't have a default constructor in the employee class. So I will keep the cursor here and I will create it. So it's created. Let us save it. Now without any modification in the main class, let us run the application. So in this case you can see the address value is getting printed properly as city Bangalore. So in case of Java based configuration, we are giving the bean definitions in the form of methods. While creating the object by ourselves, we can either use setter based dependency injection or constructor based dependency injection to inject the dependencies. In case of employee, employee depends on address. So address has to be injected into employee. So here we have used setter based injection. So this is okay, fine. Now let us come to the next part of the question. What will happen if we use both annotation based and Java based configuration on the same classes? Let us check that now. So for that, we are going to the employee class, annotate this class with @component. Similarly, I will annotate address also with @component. Okay. To see the conflicts properly, what I will do is, I will also inject value to the primitive types using @value annotation. In case of address, above the setter method, let me use @value annotation, and in employee, above set name, let me add @value Rohan. Before running the application, let us try to understand the flow. This IOC container will read both the classes annotated with @component and also the class that is annotated with @configuration. So for the classes that is annotated with @component, it will create two objects. One is an employee object with the name employee. The other one is an address object with the name address. The bean names are same as that of the class name, but in camel case or lowercase. Together with that, it is also reading appconfig.java. So it is creating an object for appconfig. So it is app C capital config camel case. This object is created. It is reading the bean definition in the configuration class. So for that, it is creating the bean name will be get employee and get address. So for employee, you have two bean instances. For address, you have two bean instances. When you run this application, you are making a call to context.getBean by passing the employee class. The container will look in for the spring beans. For employee, we are having two bean objects, employee and get employee. There is a confusion. So it will throw an exception saying no unique bean definition. Let us run this application and check the output first. So here I have got the exception. No unique bean definition exception. No qualifying bean of type employee. I expected single but matching bean found 2. Employee and get employee. How to remove this exception? For that, we have to give the name of the bean instance explicitly. So here I can just pass employee, comma employee.class. So which bean instance we are trying to select? We are selecting the bean instance that is coming from annotation based configuration. To this employee instance, we need to inject address. We are not using constructor based dependency injection. If you want to inject address, it is mandatory that you need to use auto wired. If you don't use auto wired, you will get address as null. But what will be the value of name? It will be Rohan. Now let us check that. I'll run this application. So name is Rohan, address is null. Now what I can do, above the address instance, I can use @autowired. Again I will rerun the application. Name is Rohan, address city is Pune. So if you are passing the bean name within the getBean method, there is no confusion for the IOC container to choose that particular bean. In this case, what we have done is we are trying to use only annotation based configuration because it is going and selecting the value, auto wiring part, everything from the annotation based configuration. What if I want to use the app config class? So instead of giving employee, I can just pass get employee. So this is what that we have given in app config class. What will happen in this scenario? I am using both Java based configuration and annotation based configuration. So before running the application, let us see the flow. So when you pass using get employee, the IOC container has already created a bean instance and injected the appropriate values. What will be the values for this particular get employee? So here in app config, you are creating an instance. The name is set to Raju and the address city is set to Bangalore. But what will happen? In the real scenario, when you call set name, it is entering into the employee class. Now that value is being replaced with Rohan. And similarly, when it is going into the address class, that city is replaced with Pune. So, in both the cases, again still you will get the same value only. So, let us try running this and check the output, and then we will modify. So, here you can see it is printing name as Rohan, city as Pune. Whatever values you are giving in app config is replaced by this @value annotation. So, what we will do is now we will comment this Rohan and also we will comment this city part. Okay. Now, let me come to the main class. So, here we are passing get employee. Again, there is another issue. Here we are having two instances of address and get address. Which one will be injected into get employee? So, what is my expectation? In my app config, I have got an address object created explicitly and I am passing that address into the set address method. And again, as usual, as I told, when you call set address, it will go to the employee class. Because you have given @AutoWired, it will try to use the address object which is available from this annotation. Because you have used component. What will be the value of city? We have not given any value, so it will return null. Now let us run this. See, city is null. So what modification we can do? Two ways I can do it. So in my case, for this get employee, I am getting two instances of address. One is this address which is coming from annotation. The other one is get address which is coming from the configuration file. So I need to specify which one I want. So I can go into app config. Together with @bean, I can use @primary. Without changing anything, let me run the application. So name is Raju, address city is Bangalore. So when you are having more than one instance of the same type, then we can use @primary in case of Java based configuration. So I hope this part is clear. So I will also show you one more example wherein we are using @primary. Already we have done one application for auto wiring. Let me copy those classes. Let us first analyze these classes. So first I have a shape interface with one area method, then a rectangle and triangle. I don't need this component. We are using Java based configuration. Similarly for triangle also I will remove this. And I have one shape factory class which has one instance of shape. So I will remove the rest of the code. I don't need all this. I don't need component, no auto wiring, nothing. And here simply call shape.area. I am making the code simple. Let me create a configuration class. So new class. Let me give the name as shape config. Annotate the class with @configuration. Then add bean definitions. So here we need to add bean definitions for shape factory, rectangle and triangle. For shape we cannot do because it is an interface. Let me add the methods @bean public shape factory return null. We will complete this code later. Similarly, we will do for triangle, rectangle, return new triangle. Okay. All the beans are created. Now we will change the logic for shape factory. So here I can just give new shape factory. This shape factory has a dependency of shape. So you need to inject shape either using constructor or setter based dependency injection. In case of setter based, you need to use the annotation @AutoWired. So to avoid that, what we can do is, let us go to source, generate constructor using fields. So I am going in for constructor based dependency injection. Here it is giving me an error. I need to pass an instance of shape. That is an interface, so you need to pass an object of the implementation class. Either you can pass this or you can pass the second one. So let me pass rectangle. Control C and I will pass it over here. Now come to the main class. In the main class, just like how we got an employee, let us try to get shape factory and call the method. It's equal to context.getBeanOf. Here there is no clash. I have only one bean instance. So directly I can call shapefactory.class. In the next line, factory.printArea. So I had the choice, I removed the choice part also. So 10, 20. Now I will run this application. So here I am getting the output for a rectangle. Now what if there is a scenario wherein we are using setter based dependency injection? So I am removing this shape factory. We are not explicitly passing rectangle or triangle in shape factory. Now what will happen? These are different beans. They don't have any connection between them. But the shape factory has an instance of shape. Using this shape, you are trying to call the area method. Because shape is not injected into shape factory, the value will be null. So this will throw null pointer exception. Okay. So what should I do? I need to go in for setter method or a field based dependency injection. So I am using @autovoid. Now what will happen? You are using @autovoid. So an instance of shape or a class that implements shape should be injected into shape factory. But I have got two objects, triangle and rectangle. There is a confusion which one to choose. See? Consider making any one of the beam as primary. So same way, just like the previous scenario, it is expecting one bean but it is having two beans. So we need to choose a specific bean. Together with bean, just like the previous scenario, let us add @primary. So this will get the highest priority. Now let us run this application. Now it is giving triangle 1000. What will happen if you use primary and also in shape factory you are using @qualifier? Already we have learned about qualifier, and in qualifier I am passing rectangle. Which one will get the highest priority? Obviously what you are writing in the class will get the highest priority. So when you run the application, it will print the area of rectangle. I hope it is clear. So in case of Java based configuration, when there are more than one beans of the same type, we have to use @primary. And which one is the best one? Whether to use annotation based configuration or Java based configuration. If you are working with your own user defined classes, always go in for annotation based configuration because it is very easy. You just go and add component above the class. When you are working with inbuilt classes, you cannot see those classes, so you cannot add component. In that scenario, you will have to go in for Java based configuration, wherein you will ask the container to create objects for those classes by annotating the methods using @bean. Say for example, if you are working with JDBC with Spring, you need objects for certain data source, JDBC template and so on. We cannot use annotation based configuration there. In that scenario, we will be using Java based configuration. So for this question, when to use Java based configuration? When you are working with inbuilt classes, use Java based configuration. When you are working with your own user defined classes, use annotation based configuration. This is all about Java based configuration. Thank you.